Welcome to Access Sportsnet Dodgers, brought to you by Mercury Insurance. John Hartung, Jerry Hairston Jr., Nomar Garcia-Parra. The Dodgers improved to 5-0 on their first road trip of the season. The offense didn't put up the 11-plus runs they had been averaging in the first 4 games of this trip, but Yoshinobu Yamamoto didn't need a whole lot tonight because he was outstanding once again, and his return to Toronto allows just 1 run in 6+ innings. Jerry, and the bullpen outstanding for the final 3.
Yeah, bullpen, especially Alex Vesia coming in, kind of cleaning up a little bit of the mess. But Yamamoto was outstanding once again there in Toronto. We know that is his little bit of funhouse there. Dodgers, especially the bottom of the order, continues to swing the bat.
Yeah, Yamamoto did his job. He looked great out there. But the bullpen really today was really the star of this game because it really got scary there. Vesia getting out, bases loaded, nobody out, getting the job done. That was incredible. That was a turning point because you just saw Toronto just kind of be demoralized after that. Blake Trinan coming in, throwing strikes, and then you hear the trumpets on our end at the very least. Had to hear that come in and close the door. So it was just an unbelievable pitch game by the Dodgers.
We talked on the pregame show, Alex Freeland starting his 7th straight game. The previous 6 starts, he was 1 for 20. Tonight, he goes 3 for 3 with an RBI, and he's standing by with Kirsten Watson.
Alex, you had quite the day at the plate. 3 hits, a sac bunt, an RBI, 2-run scores. I feel like I could keep going. When you look at just the results, how good did it feel to finally see some balls fall there?
Oh, it felt amazing. I've just been trying to be consistent, just keep putting together good at-bats, and hopefully they fell, and they fell tonight, so that's good.
Obviously, when you want the results, sometimes you've been having some hard-hit contact, but the results weren't there. I mean, how did you find just staying true to yourself?
I mean, this game's going to humble you a lot, so, I mean, just keep showing up and keep putting in the work, and the results will handle themselves. So I just keep showing up and try and be the same guy.
You were told just kind of what your role was going to be and being that guy at the bottom of the order. With you and Hae-Sung Kim today, how you guys were able to continue to turn things over, counting for 4 of the runs. I mean, how do you describe what the 2 of you could do and how it sets up the top of the order?
No, I mean, I think me and Kim down at the bottom of the order, we might get overlooked a lot, but you know, I think both of us can put together quality at bats and flip a lineup and have speed on the bases, especially for guys like Sho and Tuck at the top, and they hit those gap shots and we could score.
Now tell me, what was it like playing behind Yoshinobu Yamamoto today?
It's always special to play behind him. I always really enjoy watching him throw.
You knew that this was going to be an exciting series. When it came to a World Series rematch, I mean, describe what it was like to kind of being a part of this matchup, and of course, how close this one today was.
Yeah, well, I mean, last year I wasn't here, so this was my first time experiencing it, but like I could feel the tension and feel the atmosphere, and man, I just enjoy playing in an environment like this, so I really enjoy it.
Well, Alex, a great day at the plate, a great day on the field. Congratulations on this win.
Thank you so much.
Great nights for Alex Freeland and the Dodgers. Yoshinobu Yamamoto back in Toronto. He was the World Series MVP the last 3 times he had pitched there. Complete game in Game 2 of the World Series. He wins Game 6, and he wins Game 7 coming out of the bullpen, Jerry. And then tonight, 6+ innings, allowed just 1 run with 6 strikeouts.
And you know, the Blue Jays offense was trying to get their get back tonight after getting beaten down last night, Game 1 of the series. Yamamoto, outstanding job keeping their bats silent, only allowing that 1 run in 6 innings. Fastball working, outstanding split, and that curveball, too. When you have 3 pitches like that, it is so tough to cover for an offense.
I mean, early on, he looked great, striking out the side, you know, right from the get-go, was going. And we mentioned before the game, key to him is having that fastball command. Well, he had that, and that allowed all those other off-speed pitches to just be devastating. You get the swing and miss. When he's going out there and he's dotting the bottom part of the zone, especially with the fastball, because we know he has the devastating split finger. And so as a hitter, you're going, well, I like to get him up because then if he throws a split finger, potentially will flatten out, or I can lay off of that because it usually falls out of the zone. But when he's throwing that fastball for a strike down in the bottom part of the zone, now I can't give up on that. I have to look for that pitch. And then his split finger looks like his fastball. You swing at it, and then he has such a late, tight break to his slider as well.
Yes.
And that also is location. Where it was starting was in the zone, so you're staying on it as a hitter, and the next thing you know, you've already committed, and you're swinging and missing.
The slider he threw to Springer was absolutely filthy.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like a fastball. It looked like a fastball on TV. Try being in the batter's box and try to pick up that late breaking slider and understanding that's probably his 4th best pitch. Fastball, split, curveball, and then the slider. He's had that working. It's just tough sledding for hitters.
He didn't have a lot of high-stress innings. He gets through 6 at 88 pitches. We weren't sure if he'd come out there for the 7th inning. Nomar, he does come out for the 7th. He gives up a double, then a base hit.
Yeah.
Dave Roberts brings in Alex Vesia, and then all of a sudden the bases are loaded with nobody out.
Yeah, it was definitely we thought this was the turning point for the Toronto Blue Jays. They did as well. They did everything right there. They got the leadoff runner for the double. Right here was just looking for a bunt base hit, recognizing the defense back, knowing you need base runners, knowing that it's not about, oh, I just have to knock in this run, or I got to get on base because we need base running because we are behind. Looking for a big inning. Vesia comes in. He walks the bases loaded and then really settles in. This one up in the zone. It wasn't deep enough. Good job by Teo, getting behind us, making a strong throw. And it's smart. They're thinking, let's not run out of the inning because, once again, they're thinking we need to score more runs. And then after that, after he gets that one, him settling, that was a huge pitch right there.
Striking out Valenzuela there, bases loaded, went out. That was absolutely huge. Now it puts some pressure on George Springer. We know he's a gamer. But it's 2 outs, so he can't really go out there and execute. He needs to get a hit. But Blake trying to come in the 8th inning, pumping strikes. We had these little issues. I know Blake did in spring training, but we always say it's spring training. Let these guys iron out what they need to iron out. Outstanding job getting over there. Just 10 pitches. He worked quick, worked fast, had that late breaking sinker in on the hands. That pitch is absolutely nasty, chasing, soft contact.
That was the key, Jerry. It was the late sink. And that's his signature, as a hitter, when you're seeing that sinker just come in running on your hands and it's so late. And then he has the slider that also has a late break. And then obviously you go out and you get this guy for a reason to close the door, and he does just that.
And Diaz is a guy that, listen, understanding I have a 3-run lead. Okay, I don't want to do this, but there's a free pass. Breaking ball. Great job, Will Smith, challenging it. That is strike 3. I love this new ABS system. It is so fun. No more. I could have been a 300 hitter if they had that ABS system when we played.
Sure.
But he does give
maybe even 240 because you took some called balls.
So let's get back to the highlight. The Diaz was outstanding, shutting the door, doesn't get phased. If he does have some traffic, he's able to settle in and make pitches.
And Will Smith actually has been very good behind the plate at challenging calls, and he got that one right. It was a big one there in the bottom of the 9th inning. Dodgers 4-1 winners. Let's go back to Toronto. Check in with the guys one final time. Joe Davis and Oral Hershiser.
Well, we've seen this script before. Yoshinobu Yamamoto pitches well, and the Dodgers win again in Toronto.
Yeah, I look at Toronto and I see how they play, and it's kind of sloppy. They've made 9 errors on the season. We watched what was going on in this game. The Dodgers have only made 1 error on the season, Will Smith's throwing error. Nothing by a fielder. They're playing the edges of the game properly, and they're showing it here.
How about the bottom of the order tonight?
It's really good to see those guys succeed because you know what they're trying to battle to get on the roster. They're battling for playing time. They're thinking, am I ever going to get in there with this star-studded lineup? And now they come in and they contribute. A lot of fun to see.
All right, series wraps up tomorrow. The Dodgers go for a sweep, go for a perfect road trip as they hand the ball to Shohei Ohtani.
And here's a look at the upcoming schedule tomorrow. A noon finale in Toronto featuring a great pitching matchup, Shohei Ohtani against Dylan Cease. Then it's back home to face the Texas Rangers this weekend. Get there early, though, Friday for the first installment of Shohei's greatest game, 2 parts bobblehead. And then the New York Mets will be here starting Monday. All of these games right here on Sportsnet LA. World Series MVP pitches into the 7th inning, picking up 6 strikeouts and his 2nd win of the season. We've got plenty of reaction coming up from Toronto as the Dodgers have won 5 in a row. Access Sportsnet Dodgers is brought to you by Mercury Insurance. Racked up 10 strikeouts tonight. So tomorrow, you can go to Jack in the Box. You can celebrate by getting a free Jumbo Jack with a purchase of a large drink at an LA area location. Tonight it was Yoshinobu Yamamoto carrying the load. He had 6 of those 10 strikeouts, and Yoshi also picks up win number 2 on the season. Let's hear from him with Kirsten and the media.
Yoshi, when you look at this outing, how you were able to navigate so efficiently through the Blue Jays lineup, did you find that today was probably the best you felt this regular season?
まず今日これだけ効果的に投げれた要因と今シーズン3試合ですけど一番良かったですか？
そうですね。前の2試合に比べて、また少し感覚がよく、コントロールして投げられたなと、思います。はい。
Yes, I felt better than last two outings.
With what do you think happened there, either in the 6th or even early in the 7th, that just allowed them to attack you a little bit differently?
6回と7回の最初の方、ちょっとうまくいかなかった要因っていう相手の方にありました。ちょ
っとセット入ってから、もう少しなところが、 あるなと、今日の試合で感じましたし、そこは一つ課題ではありますけど、後半なんとか7回3人抑えて、っていうのが一番良かったんですけど、ちょっと先頭を出してしまって、ベシアに助けられました。
Yeah, because a little bit I was off from the stretch, and then that's something I need to clean up for the next outing. And then I wanted to complete the 7th inning, but I allowed the lead off, and then I get on the base. And so that's something I need to look back on.
The first 5 innings were really no stress. What was working so well in that stretch?
5回まで、素晴らしかったんですけども、何が一番うまくいった要因ですか、5回まで。
ノーワインドの時、昨日からまたちょっと感覚が良くなって、なのでコントロールしっかり、ストレートも変化球も思ったように投げれてたので、相手は積極的に来てましたけど、それがうまいことこうはまって球数も少なくいけてたかなと、思います。
Yeah, because since yesterday, because I started feeling even better, and I was able to carry that on into today's game, and then so that's why I was able to control my pitches, both fastball and then also off speed.
The second time you faced Sanchez, you really had him off balance. Just what did you learn from that first at bat that you then brought into that second time?
サンチェス選手をやっぱり今日ちょっと的絞らせないみたいな感じだったんですけども、1回目の対戦の後何か変えたりしましたか？
いえ、特に変えたとかはないですけど、こうなんて言うんだろうな、たまたまこういろんな球種を使って、っていう打席になりましたね。
Because I think I was able to efficiently mix in my pitches.
Been a frustrating series so far for Blue Jays manager John Snyder. His club losing back-to-back nights to the Dodgers, who go for the sweep tomorrow. We've got more reaction coming your way. Access Sportsnet Dodgers is brought to you in part by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. Good times.